Hey guys, what's up? Crazy Werewolf here. Sorry for not uploading videos in like, what is it, 3 weeks now. I've been really busy with work and, I've been really tired too. You know, working from 11 at night to 7 a.m. does kind of like, you have to, you have to pretty much get used to the concept of working during those late hours when normally your mind is thinking of just going to sleep and, being in your warm bed. And it usually happens from time to time, man, and most of the time I have to force myself to stay awake. It's really hard, but you can never really get used to working those shifts, no matter how many times you do it. And I think it's because, like I said, your mentality is just not, it just doesn't focus that way. Technically, we, humans, people, we're technically supposed to be sleeping at that time, because it's just something we're accustomed to doing. When it's night outside, there's no reason to be awake. It's more about resting up and re-energizing your body to be able to wake up the following morning and do what you got to do. So working from 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. does take a toll in to the body and to the mind, but it's not something that's bad. It's just it's just something that we as people are not really accustomed to doing as often. And I know there might be a couple of you that know what it feels like to work those shifts and have done it with other jobs before, or maybe they're doing it now. So I guess for those of you who know, you understand what I'm going through. But I don't mind it really. I mean, I get paid good money. I do my job. I get praised really well, and so everything's going fine. There's nothing wrong. I'm actually happy about it. It's just that it's hard to get used to, but you do it. You just float. You just go with it. You just have to do it no matter what. So yeah, I just wanted to cover up, that part of the whole point of why I haven't been uploading so long. I've been meaning to upload since the last video I made. I always like tell myself, come on, upload at least 2 to 3 videos a week or something. And I don't know, it's not so much that I get lazy, it's just so much that I just don't have the time to do it. So, I got these other things that I gotta add that I'm doing too, personal things also. And I'm also writing my novel, as I explained in my previous vlog about the novel that I'm writing. And I'm doing all these other things too. School's about to start for me in a week. What's the day? I'm kind of lost on the day too. I'm crazy. This is 7th. Holy crap, that's crazy. Holy crap. Stupid thing. God damn it. I'm trying to check like these informations and stuff and I just can't get it. There you go. Shit, this is my last week off like that. So then next week, Monday, is when I start my first day of class. So I have classes Monday, Tuesday, and Friday. So I mean, I have Wednesday and Thursday and Sunday and Saturday off pretty much. But depends if they come in and work on the weekends. It depends. But the other days I have class in the afternoon. So I get home from work, I sleep for like maybe 2 to 3 hours, if that, and then go to school, and then maybe sleep another hour or so, and then go to work. It's gonna be tough, especially with homework, but I gotta do it. It's something I gotta do. This is something I really want to do. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna stop myself just because it's tough or anything. I'm not gonna stop myself because I can't be lazy. I'm not gonna lie. I am very lethargic at times, but I always push myself to do it and to keep at it no matter what. So that attitude comes from my parents, and I'm thankful for that at least. You know, because if I'm just completely lazy, then I wouldn't be doing anything. I wouldn't even be doing this in the first place. So yeah, guys. Enough of me blabbering about my personal stuff. Not so much personal, but just I guess things that I wanted to pretty much let you guys know about the whole situation going on. Me. I don't mind talking about myself as long as it's not way too personal stuff. You're never gonna hear me talk about anything regarding my homosexuality on my videos. You guys know I'm gay. Leave it at that. That's it. That's all you guys need to know. You guys need to know any details, and I'm pretty sure you guys don't want to know details. Please don't ask me for details about that stuff because I'm not gonna say anything about it. It's just that's personal. Okay. But let's cover the whole point of this video. The whole point of this new vlog is simply talking about my novel and showing my designs regarding my novel. I mean, like the characters that I'm trying to come up with, and I'm still I'm finalizing the whole I guess you can say contest if you want to call it that, regarding people if you want to participate, create your own character for your novel, and the top three will have their designs put into the novel as characters, and if they want, they can be their design themselves. Like they can actually be that character. It doesn't have to be human. It can be any kind of alien you can think of. Just be a little creative with the alien designs, because I'm kind of like I'm kind of a little picky with that stuff, I think aliens are way more than just a typical big eye, bulgy, like big head kind of humanoid thing. It could be anything. Like think of Ben 10 or think of Men in Black. Like they have very creative and original aliens in there. I mean, think like that. You can base it off of nature, like I do. My aliens are pretty much based off of nature and animals and stuff, and I just, do my own thing and mix it around. Think outside the box. That's all I'm asking. I don't want any of that typical stereotypical alien design. It's kind of boring and it's just not. It's lazy kind of, because it's like that's what we all assume aliens to look like. But you'd be surprised that maybe aliens might not look exactly like that. They might actually have this very animalistic look to them, or this ethereal appearance to them. But yeah, so in my next video, once I have everything pretty much set up and planned and everything, I'll give you more detail about that, and I'll give more detail of how this top three thing is going to go, and what's going to happen with everyone else's designs. Or if I'm really going for top three, maybe I could go for top four or top 10 or something. I'm thinking more leaning on top three, but it could change. If you guys feel like it could be a top 10 or something, just put it in the comments, or just inbox me, or whatever you feel like. I'll take into consideration. I'm open for ideas, guys. Like I really don't mind, So yeah, I'm not gonna say much about the novel in terms of what is going to happen, but I will give you a synopsis at least. Basically, this novel is going to be a trilogy. It's going to be a one-set trilogy, and then followed by a two-set trilogy. What I mean by is that this is going to be a first trilogy, kind of like an origin story of the Guzman family. And the Guzman family are the main family that is pushed to their edge to protect the world and protect the universe from terrorism and other criminal activities. Basically, think Ben 10, but just more mature and more not so much about heroism, but more about working together and creating a unity among all, regardless of species, regardless of culture, regardless of where you're from or what planet you live in. It doesn't matter what kind of alien you are. I mean, it's all about unity. And the novel pretty much is going to focus on the general idea of what we go through in our daily lives, racism and all these other thematic elements, while at the same time covering these powerful negative events that reflect and shape our future and pretty much reflect who we are and who we end up becoming. I mean, so the Guzman family are kind of, in a sense, cursed, but not in the supernatural sense, but cursed in the sense that they are pushed to this as a tradition, as something they have to do no matter what, no matter what they think. They can still either live their lives as normal, but most of the times they find themselves not doing it because, there's new threats every waking moment. And as they begin to cover themselves more and more, they begin to realize that they can't hide their true identities, they can't hide themselves. They have to come to face with terms of reality of who they are and what they're capable of. And eventually, make allies and friends and who will help them in their quests to stop these criminal activities from, increasing and occurring. And, it just gets worse and worse as the years go by. So basically, this first trilogy is going to cover on Oswaldo Guzman's life, and he calls him to Oswald. It'll be explained why. I'm not going to cover that. Basically, he's Ecuadorian like myself, and he's one of the many Ecuadorian Guzmans. The side of the Guzman family that's on the Ecuadorian half of the world. There's many Guzmans around the world, and they're all related. This will also be explained. I know it's confusing because, there's a lot more Guzmans than just Ecuadorians. There's American Guzmans, there's Italian Guzmans, there's Japanese Guzmans. And I know Japanese, the surname Guzman sounds weird, but, it's more of a cover up more than anything. But the reason why, and I won't tell here, but I'll just give little hints here, or little specks of information here. They've been spread out throughout the ages and throughout the years. The Guzman family has increased in size and has spread out to kind of protect all sides of the Guzman family. So in case something happens, there's always someone else to take over. But they're very close bonded. Some rather be alone, and others rather do their own thing. Well, there are those who are willing to join up with their other members, and regardless of any differences, and do what they have to do to become defenders of Earth and defenders of the galaxy. But that's just the basic general idea of the Guzman family. The Guzman family is pretty much a large clan that has been doing this since the age of the Atlantis. The age of the Atlantis meaning Atlantis itself. And I know Atlantis here is more of a myth or a legend than an actual reality, real thing. Although there have been some theories that may have been real, but I'm not going to cover into that. I'm basing it in my world, and in my world, in the novel, Atlantis did exist, and it's where the origin of the Guzman family was born, as the origin of sorcery, which also is another part of the world that exists. And the two sides, there are two kinds of humans. There's the regular humans that live mortal lives, and then there's the sorcerers, which are given the ability to live more than 300 years. Not any higher, they're not immortal. They can live up to 400 years, depending on the gene. But they can live long lives. But they're gifted with the ability of sorcery, which is not the typical sorcery you guys know from fantasy. It's a different kind of sorcery that I'm still working on adjusting and making it work with the world that I created. But they're gifted with sorcery, but at the same time, sorcery is also a curse because of the fact that you get to live longer than everyone else. So if you have like a human friend, you're gonna outlive them a lot longer than normal. And it's also a very, very excruciating and very painful process to go through in sorcery. And I'm not gonna cover that, but I'm gonna leave it at that. It's just sorcery is more than just be able to conjure spells. It takes a toll on your body, it takes a toll on your soul, and your energy, not your soul. It takes a toll on like your physical and your emotions. So you have to master, you have to be trained, and like with many differences in kind of situations like this, sorcerers are looked by many people as not trustworthy and stuff like that. So there's also some discrimination among the against the sorcerers, and there's also going to be like people who are sorcerers who tend to fall and become villains instead of being they're here supposed to be like try to do what they gotta do to protect others. So there's a lot of complex things that could go around with each and every one of these little details. But this novel's gonna cover just the more important things that I want to cover, but it also will cover the origin of the Guzman family. So that way, by the time I'm done with this first wave trilogy, by the time I start my second trilogy, it won't be so complex and anything. So that way, it's not as confusing, and it can just flow perfectly without convoluting the main plot. Now that may sound worrisome for the first trilogy, but it's not. It's about the quest of discovering one's origin, at the same time taking that origin and seeing how it can help them in their generation, so then they can provide a better future for the future generation. So that's pretty much the gist of it. But there's gonna be a lot of plot and a lot of stories. There's more gonna be. It's gonna be more than just about an origin story. It's gonna be that story in particular about Oswald and his crew and how they defeat their enemies and all these other things. So it's gonna be a complex story. The origin of Inns depends. I'm not gonna give too much information about where these species came from, because it's way too much that I have. But there will be some details about them. There's also 3 species that share Earth, 3 intelligent species: the Trodians, the Lupivers, and the humans. I'm not gonna get too much information about the 3 of them. Well, the humans, I don't have to explain the humans, but Lupivers, let's just say they're werewolf-like creatures that have been chosen by Mother Nature herself to be the guardians of Earth. And the Trodians are dinosaurs mutated into humanoid kind of aliens, a very intelligent species, one of the first waves to occur on Earth. The Trodians are based out of the Trodons. If you don't know what Trodons are, just look it up on Google. They're actually pretty interesting dinosaurs, and they might have been the most intelligent dinosaurs that ever walked this Earth. And that's why I handpicked them specifically to be the Dinosauroids, or the Trodians, the first intelligent race to dominate Earth. And I also will, get into detail about the origins of each, and also how all three like sync with one another, or if they have problems with one another, or they just can't get along. Things like that we'll cover, and that's just something for the novel. That's just something not for here. It's just too much to talk about. Technically, I'm still writing a lot about all these things, about all the origins, about all the information that I got to cover. So it's a lot of work, and I'm taking it one step at a time to make sure I write all the details first before I get into that part of the novel. I mean, I'm writing a novel, but at the same time, I'm writing on a separate book, like notebook, like information about the origins of each one, so that way I don't get lost myself, because this is a lot of information. But it's the way it is, that's just the way I created the world, and that's just the way this novel is gonna go. So that's the general idea of the novel. If you guys want to know a little more details about it, or you guys have questions about it, just let me know. So anyways, before I end this video, let me show you a couple of designs that I did for the novel. Hold on a second. This is my little drawing pad notebook thing. I got a little wet because it was raining one day and it just smudged the art wheel a little bit, but oh well. I got some other like sketchbooks and stuff like that here, so I can always redesign and just pick the best one. So these are sketchbooks right here. All these. That's crazy. It's the artist's way, man. It's the artist's way. So I'm just gonna skim through them pretty quick. Actually, I'm not gonna get too much into these. So this is what a Lupabur is kind of supposed to look like. This Lupabur is different because it was exposed to sorcery, and there's an origin story behind this particular villain. It's villain. I have only drawn its beast form. I haven't drawn its human form. Not all Lupaburs can gain human forms though, because humans didn't exist at the time the Lupaburs existed. The whole Lupabur human hybrid only existed right after the humans came along, and that's when a particular story happened where a Lupabur and a human fell in love, and all these things that happened, kind of like a Romeo and Juliet kind of story. But it's just another story for another day. If I have the time to talk to you guys about that one, I'm gonna write that one down. So this is like an insectoid kind of alien that I haven't really thought of what I'm going to do with it, but I'm leaving it there just in case. I forgot to delete this part again, but whatever. This I haven't really, I don't have the names for any of these creatures yet, like names and species, what species they are, but I'm still working on designs. I'm still trying to work on make them look a lot better. That is not really much of a design. My sister did this. She's amazing. That's not. And I think this is the most recent design that I've done. It's supposed to be a Trollian. It looks okay. I mean, I feel like I can make a little bit more work to it. Like, I feel like the head is a little, off-center and a little small. Well, the body's big. The arms are a little weird, but I'm still working on the designs. But yeah, that's the general idea, guys. So yeah. Sorry I don't have too much to go for there, but I'm still working on the designs and what they're all gonna look like, especially the villains and the heroes and all that stuff. So taking it one step at a time. So yeah, guys, I'll make my next vlog hopefully sometime soon. Hopefully this week or beginning next week. I'll try to get it as soon as possible before school starts, because I'm gonna get really busy at that point. But I'm gonna have at least 2 days off to work on it, so yeah, that's gonna be fine. Don't worry, guys. I'll bring another video up. I'll explain the whole little situation with the contest and what's gonna be expected of it and all that stuff. So let me work that out. Patience is a virtue. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you for your patience. Thank you guys for everything. And if you guys, like I said, if you guys have any questions, just hit me up. Let me know. I'm here. I'll respond. Even if I don't make videos constantly, I'm usually constantly online, checking information and all this stuff that I gotta do. So you guys can hit me up. I'll respond to you as soon as I can. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Look, crazy werewolf for you, woofy, woof, woof. That's my hat. I sent this out to so they can make it for me. It's a pretty cool hat. And then on the back, I wrote Lupavir, which is the alien race of werewolves that I created. And Lupavir is also a Latin word, I believe, that was mixed from lupus and vir, or something like that. It's like wolf of the man or something like that. So I just combined both words together, even though they're technically not together. They're kind of separate words, I think. I gotta check that again. But yeah, guys, so that's it. See you guys in the next one. Have a good one. Peace.